my name's Katie, and in this video we are doing May's full face of first impressions. So every month I buy a load of makeup as soon as I get paid because I like to buy makeup, and then I try it all on my face for a video. I am very sick. It's been like a month and a half since I was last sick, and I'm sick again because people at work are just giving me all their illnesses, which is fun. So nose makeup may not last particularly well. I may put it on the face of foundation, set it all down, and it looks good. And then 2 minutes later, it's all gone because I blow my nose. So if that happens, then sorry. So anyway, let's just go straight into this. I've done a concealer and powder on my eyes, which means I will be starting with some eyeshadow. And I got the L'Oreal Palette Le Petit palette. This says mini eyeshadow palette, essential shade Harmony, with one statement shade. I don't know if the palette's got a name. I'm guessing it's like Harmony then, I don't know. But it comes in this cute little packaging, which you can't see because my lights are going nuts. Put it sideways. I think the package is really cute. Obviously it's quite small, but I think the shades are super pretty. It's kind of like a quite like warm toned, kind of grungy looking palette. I think that they're all shimmers. The red shade and the dark shade I think are kind of matte. I can't really tell. I feel like they maybe have a tiny bit of shimmer in them, but I feel like those two are mostly matte, but the other three definitely have some shimmer in them. The purple one actually I kind of can't tell. No, I would say there's definitely a bit of shimmer, but they're not like overly shimmery. The top two I would say are quite like obviously shimmery, but the bottom three I feel like if there is any, it's only a subtle amount. I mainly got this because it was like 3 for 2 on L'Oreal, so I thought I'd pop something else in my bag. And I don't think like I've tried like a lot of L'Oreal eyeshadow. It's not really kind of like their forte product, I feel. And I think these came out sort of recently, so let's see if they're any good. I have done a bit of a swatch and they seem pretty decent. So I've got a doctor's appointment soon, so I don't want to be spending too long on my makeup here. I'm just going to make some kind of simple eyeshadow look. I feel like I might as well start with the red that I can't decide whether it's matte or not, and just pop this one through my crease to start with. It does have quite a lot of fallout, but it's also picking up a lot of product, so that means it's probably going to be pigmented. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit to my eye area. Okay, just placing this to the crease. Yeah, definitely got some good pigment here. I mean, as you can see, that's got a hella of a lot of pigment to it. They do have fallout, like there's a lot of like kickback in the pan, so if that's an issue for you, bear in mind. I don't really mind so much. Yeah, it's a bit messy, but I don't really mind if there's fallout as long as it's like a nice eyeshadow with pigment. I really can't be asked to do anything too elaborate, so I think I'm going to go kind of deep and smoky here and get this kind of really purpley dark shade, and I think I'm just going to get my finger and kind of place that in the centre and make a kind of like smoky, grungy sort of eye. So yeah, I am just going to use my finger for that, and as you can see, a lot comes out. So just kind of paste, whoa, that's good. Placing this kind of in the centre part of my eyelid. So I'm going to get a bit of the same shade that I've just used and get it on my crease brush and just kind of bring it upwards a bit and kind of blend it. Well, I'm going to try because I'm absolutely awful at eyeshadow. Right, I'm going to get a bit of the deepest shade at the bottom. It's kind of like a black with a slight grey, browny kind of thing. I don't know, it's not jet black. I'm going to use the same crease brush and put a bit of that in the outer third. Okay, I'm going to get some of the shade right at the top. It's kind of like a goldy sort of highlighty colour. I'm hoping that this will work under my brow bone. Hopefully it's not too goldy. But yeah, I'm just going to place a bit of that like under my brow bone. Yeah, this is definitely very yellowy. It's maybe not the best shade for this, but I've started now, so I'm going to finish. So there's only one shade that I haven't used. I might put that in my inner corner later on, but I feel like I've tried out a good amount of the shades from that eyeshadow, and I have to say I'm quite impressed. I think if you're going for like a kind of grungy smoky look, this is definitely something to reach for. I think the eyeshadow quality is pretty good. As you can see, there's a lot of pigment. They seem to be blending well. They don't do that annoying thing where they like blend into nothing that I find with a lot of eyeshadows, especially kind of drugstore ones. I feel like often will just blend away into nothing, but this one is pretty nice, pretty intense, and I'm actually quite liking this grungy look. So for liner in my waterlines, I got the Bourjois Contour Clubbing Waterproof Ultra Black Eyeliner, and this is just your standard pencil. I swatched it and it seems pretty creamy and pigmented, which is what I always like. And I feel like especially with like a smoky eye, black liner in the waterline, I think it works well. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do, just pop this in my top and bottom waterlines. The last Bourjois eyeliner I used, it was in one of my first impressions. I had a bit of a reaction to it, like every time I used it, it made my eyes water. So hopefully this one doesn't do the same thing. Though I have used other Bourjois eyeliners and I don't feel like they've done that. I think it was just that one I used last time. So my eyes have not started watering, so that's good, and as you can see, this is just pretty standard, but pretty good, very pigmented, very creamy, everything I look for in a pencil liner, so very happy with that Bourjois Contour Clubbing Liner. Okay, so let's do some mascara now. The mascara that I got is from Maybelline. It's the Total Temptation one, which I feel like is sort of new. I think it's been out for a couple months, but it's reasonably new. And I wanted to see if it's any good. So I'm going to go ahead and use this mascara. That is what the wand looks like, fairly standard. I'm just doing my top blushes for now. Okay, this is how the lashes have turned out. I have to say, I'm quite impressed. I think that's given me some decent length, decent volume, and I'm actually quite happy with this. It's not knocking me off my feet, but again, I feel like with mascaras, I just tend to like them the more I use them. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like mascaras get better with a bit more use. I don't know if it's the product drying out slightly or whatever, but if I like it from first impression, that normally means I'll like it even more the more I use it. The next thing I've got is actually a high-end product, and it's very exciting to me. I decided to get the Nars All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. I got mine in the shade Siberia. So I have tried the Sheer Glow before, and I did really like the Sheer Glow, but I am going to get the Sheer Glow again at some point because I did really like it, but I thought this time I'd try a different Nars foundation, and obviously I've heard that this one's quite good as well. And obviously I knew that the shade Siberia would be good because it was with the Sheer Glow. It's just a very like pale yellow tone, which what I look for because I'm more on the yellowy side. I did like swatch this a bit, and it's very watery, so I feel like maybe you'd need to shake this a bit before you use it. But yeah, it was very watery, which would normally indicate that's not going to be the strongest coverage, but I've heard that this is pretty decent coverage, so we'll see how that goes. It's quite handy that these ones have a pump, unlike the Sheer Glow. I know you can buy the pump for them, but it's just handy to have it with these. So I'm going to use a sponge, and I'm going to just build this up all around my face. As you can see, like, it's so yellow, like it's very, very yellow. I feel like it's not like 100% perfect, like it's almost a little bit too yellow, but I think it's close enough. I wouldn't even know what to do about this though, because I wouldn't really want to lighten it or darken it. It's just kind of the yellowness. I feel like I've built up a reasonable amount of that. I feel like I was there for ages building that up, but this is what it is looking like. I really like the way it is sitting on the skin. I really like the finish of it. It is definitely quite like dewy, but it doesn't feel like overly oily or anything like that. I really like how it's sitting on the skin. I wouldn't really say that this is like too high coverage though. Like, there's still a lot of things on my face that I can see coming through. Like, I have a lot of like marks here. I don't know how well you see on camera, but I wouldn't say the coverage of this is too high. I would say it's kind of like a light medium. You probably could build it up, but I don't know. I was expecting the coverage to maybe be a little bit better. I don't really remember the Sheer Glow too well, just because it has been quite a long time since I used it. But I do feel like they are quite similar. Like, I feel like maybe the Sheer Glow was a bit like lighter on the skin maybe, but I don't even know, to be honest. It's been so long. When I get the sheer glow again, hopefully I'll still have some of this left and I can compare them. But I would have to say I'm quite liking it. I just maybe expected it to have a little bit better coverage. Obviously the yellow undertone is good, but it's almost like a little bit too yellowy. But I feel like once it kind of settles into my skin, it'll be fine. It definitely doesn't look very off from my body, so I'm quite happy with the colour as well. To go with that foundation, I also got another Nars product. So I got the Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and I got the shade Light 1 Chantilly, the lightest shade obviously. And again, I have tried the other Nars concealer, I think the Radiant Creamy, that's what it's called. And I also do want to rebuy that one because I really liked it. So basically I'm going to get the Sheer Glow and the Radiant one in a few months time probably. But I thought I would try out one that I haven't used before. And this one is the one that comes in a pot. And again, it looks quite yellow toned. It looks like kind of a similar colour to the foundation. So, I feel like pot concealers tend to be quite thick and good coverage. So let's hope that's the case with this. I do have a concealer brush which I'm trying to find, but I need to clean it off if I do use it. So I have this concealer brush from Zoeva that I feel would work well with this, but it's kind of got some other products on it, so I'm going to see if I can clean it off a little bit first. Okay, I've tried to kind of clean that off. Somehow managed to get eyeshadow on it now, but let's hope that it's okay. So I'm going to use this concealer brush and just dip it into the pot and lather some of this up on my face. It probably would be better to use your fingers maybe. I might try that as well if this doesn't go according to plan, but ooh, that glides on really nicely. I'm just going to put this under my eyes and on any blemishes on my face. I'll probably leave my nose. I normally would go in on my nose, but just because I know that my nose makeup ain't gonna last very long anyway, I might avoid it. Oh, this is gliding on super nicely. The colour looks really good. Actually, I say that the colour of this is probably slightly lighter than the foundation, just because it does look lighter than my the product that I have underneath, just from putting it under my eyes here. That's glided onto my face like so seamlessly, and it's like spreading out so well. It feels like really nice, the texture of it. So I'm going to blend it in and hope that it gives some coverage. I have to say, I am really liking that concealer. That's actually given pretty good coverage. Like there's still this like spot here that just doesn't want to cover, but it has reduced like the redness of it a lot, but I would say that's actually given really good coverage, and it looks really nice under my eyes. It just looks super like nice and flawless on the skin, and it blended like super easily. That concealer, very good. One of the best I have come across recently, I think. I've actually found quite a lot of good concealers recently, so it's got to have competition, but I have to say I am liking that a lot, and the colour is also really good for me. So I've actually got two powder options to set my face. I've got one from e.l.f. This is the Perfect Finished HD Powder Clear. It's just like a translucent pressed powder. Get that out of the box. It's got some nice sleek packaging, and there is your just translucent powder, and it's got a sponge in it as well, which I doubt I will use. And because I got my Nars foundations off of ASOS, I thought I'd maybe try an ASOS makeup product as well. So I got the translucent pressed powder from ASOS. Apparently it's in the shade Just Breathe. I don't know why a translucent powder would need a shade name, but there you go. And it's got this really cute little pink packaging. And it's just, you know, standard translucent pressed powder. So I think what I might do is do like a half and half thing, because I kind of want to see how both of these perform. I feel like pressed powders with me lately, they've just not been looking particularly nice on my skin. Like I feel like I went through a phase of them looking absolutely fine and not having any problems with them, but like the last like couple months, like everything just looks dry on me, and like I don't know, I think it might just because my skin's like aging and stuff. But I don't know, I just feel like powders don't look particularly flattering on me now. But then at the same time, I have to use powders, otherwise my makeup will just like come off completely. So it's one of those situations where I can't really win. I don't know if it's maybe to do with brushes as well. I'm thinking of investing in some more like powder brushes and stuff. But yeah, let's see if these powders are any good. God. So So what I've been doing recently is just kind of getting this kind of small brush to do under my eyes. Then I use like a flat top brush to do the rest of my face, just because I feel like the kind of more like spread out ones don't always kind of like get the powder right into your skin and actually set it, if that makes sense. Right, I think I'll go in with the ASOS one first on this half of my face here. Definitely a lot of fallout from this one, but it's picked up a lot of product. So I'm gonna set my under eyes first. Okay, so that's one side set. Again, I'm just not really sure how I feel about it. I just feel like it looks a bit dry and just not super flattering in the finish. But see, even with powders that I used to really like, I just feel like everything just looks weird on me now. But it has definitely done a good job at mattifying the face, so that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing with the e.l.f. powder on the other side of my face. Okay, so I feel like these look pretty similar. I feel like the e.l.f. one is slightly more flattering, like slightly less kind of dry looking, like it still looks a bit more skin-like than the ASOS one. And the e.l.f. one is cheaper, I think, so I would probably say the e.l.f. one has won this, but I feel like they've both done a decent job at mattifying my face. Maybe I also just put like a bit too much on, but I don't know, it's just not the most like flawless finish in my opinion. But then again, I just feel like most powders are doing this to me at the moment. I think I'm just getting old, guys. I'm getting old. Maybe I need to just try like not using setting powder or something. I don't know. I just don't know if I want to risk that kind of thing. So I've got a bronzer to try out. I got a L'Oreal bronzer. This is the Glam Bronze La Terra 02 Sun Powder Face and Body. It comes in this nice packaging. You've got quite a large amount of product, so it seems. Shade doesn't look too like dark and orangey. It looks quite glimmery. It's got this kind of like nice indent to it, and it feels super soft and velvety, and it's got quite a lot of pigment as well. So hopefully we're on to a winner here. Right, I think I'm going to use my little Vita Liberata bronzing brush for this, just because I fancy it. Definitely picking up a lot of product, so I'm going to tap a bit off so we don't go overboard here. And I'm just going to pop this in the usual places I would bronze, my cheekbones and a bit on my forehead. What the hell has it done here? It just randomly clung to that patch for some reason. But it came out okay on the other side. So it's just randomly clung to a patch here, so I'm going to try my best to blend that out. Why has it done that? Okay, so other than clinging a bit weirdly on this side, I do feel like it looks quite nice. It's quite a nice colour, looks really sun-kissed and nice, but I'd maybe be a bit careful with application because this bit here, you can still see it, it just don't want to go from this patch here. I don't know what the hell that is all about. But I will try that out again to see if I can avoid that happening. I did actually get a blush to try. I got the Bourjois Paris, what is this called? Blush? I got the Bourjois Paris blush. I'm guessing it's just called blush, and this one's in the shade 03 Brun Curve, aka Copper Brown. It does come with a little brush, which I probably won't use. I thought the colour of this looks quite nice. It's quite like peachy, but it's also got sort of like a browny kind of tone to it, so it's not too light, but I think that it looks really pretty. So I'm going to use this little brush here and pop a bit of this on my cheeks. Okay, that's super pretty, but it definitely needs a blend. I feel like the patch where the bronzer went weird, I've kind of tried to put the blush over that to kind of cover it a bit, and it sort of worked, so there you go. Maybe if you bring your bronzer a bit too low down, put some blush on to cover it up. Okay, I actually really like this blush. I think it's super pretty, super healthy looking, very nice colour. I think this could work potentially on a lot of skin tones because it is quite a dark colour. It's not too kind of like light or pastel-y. So I think this could work on darker skin than mine. So I've also got another Bourjois product for highlight. I got the Le Petit Strober highlighter, which I think came out pretty recently. It did actually come in like a little freebie. It had like a highlighter and a lipstick. I did want the highlighter anyway, but when I saw that it was in the freebie, I thought, well, there's no point in buying it if you can get it for free. It does actually look quite pale. It doesn't look too deep, which I was kind of worried about. It looks like it should work okay on me. It does have quite like a goldy champagne-y tone to it though, and it does seem quite pigmented, so let's hope that works on my face. Right, I'm just going to try and get off any excess highlighter from my highlight brush. Okay, let's go in. Okay, so as you can see there's a nice little sheen there, but I wouldn't say this is a particularly bam, wow sort of highlighter. I feel like this is probably more of a natural looking highlight, but it definitely has got a nice like shimmery sheen there. It's not like it's non-existent or anything. Just fill this up everywhere else. I don't know why I'm putting it on my nose because we know that ain't gonna last. I'm gonna try it with a slightly smaller brush and see if it picks up more product. I don't know, man, this highlighter's just not really doing it for me. It's a little bit too natural. I don't know if it's anything to do with the brushes I'm using, because I feel like when I swipe it, I don't know, let me just put a bit on with my finger. I'm not particularly blown away by this highlighter. It's a bit lackluster, really. I mean, it's done a little bit something, and if you're into a really natural looking highlight, then maybe you'd like this, but I don't know. I'm not so sure. Okay, so onto eyebrows. We've got two products to try out. I've got the L'Oreal Brow Expert, and this one's in the shade 106 Ash Brunette, but I swear I got a different shade, so I don't know. This might be the shade I got, I'm not sure. I also got the Bourjois Brow Design Brow Grooming and Styling Gel, and I got the shade 003 Brun, the darkest one. I thought I got one that was called like Cool Grey or something like that, I don't know. But hopefully the colour's not too bad. It does look a little bit warm, so hopefully it's not too bad. I've just put a bit of clear gel through my eyebrows. But let's go ahead and use this pencil. Okay, so I think that brow pencil's done a pretty decent job. It's not come out too harsh. The colour's actually not bad. I thought it would be a bit warm, but actually it looks fine on the eyebrows. It doesn't look warm at all. So, yeah, I actually think this has done the job. Maybe not my favourite brow pencil ever, but it's done an alright job. I'm going to go ahead with the Brow Design by Bourjois now. Sorry, I sound so ill, it's because I am really ill. And fill in those brows, set them into place. Just make sure I'm getting off any excess first. Yeah, I think that brow gel's also did a pretty good job. This brow came out a bit more natural. Somehow I managed to make it a bit too blocky on that side, but I feel the colour's good and it's done a pretty good job. And I'll have to see what it's like just on its own, because that's what I do on a more regular basis, just use brow gels on their own. But I think it's done a pretty good job. I'm going to go back to the L'Oreal Le Petit palette now. I think I will just go in with the dark shade that I used on the basement eyelid, the purpley one, and just use this brush and put a bit of that under the eyes. I'm going to get a bit of the shade that I haven't used, which is this kind of like glimmery sort of peachy red shade here. And I'm going to put a bit of this in my inner corners, just so then I've tried all the shades. I'll go back in with the Total Temptation on my bottom lashes now. Alright, so that's our eyes done. We've just got lips now. The Bourjois highlighter came with this lipstick as well. It's the Bourjois Rude Edition Velvet lipstick in 07 Nudist, and I have like about 4 of these because every time Bourjois does a freebie, they give out this same damn shade. Like, Bourjois, can you like put like different shades in your freebies? Because like I don't need another one of these. Like, it's pretty good lipstick, but I don't need 4 of the same shade. Like, put a different shade in, for God's sake, Bourjois. But the lip product that I'm going to use today is the Maybelline New York Superstay Matte Ink, and I got mine in the shade 100 Philosopher. It's got like a cool toned sort of purpley, lilac-y kind of colour. I don't know. Not really sure what it's going to look like on my lips, but we're going to go in for it and see. It's kind of like lavender. Right, let's put this on. Ooh, the applicator is kind of weird. That's what that looks like. I definitely don't feel like I have a colour like this, so I'm glad I picked it out because I quite like to just go for things that I don't necessarily have in my collection, but I actually really like this colour. It's just like a kind of like cool tone, sort of light purple, lilac-y kind of colour. It's really cute and I think it's good for like kind of the summertime. It probably does not go at all with this eye look. You've got like grungy autumnal eyes and a kind of spring summertime lip, so not the best coordination, but I actually really like this. It's super pigmented. I think these are supposed to dry down. It does feel like it's gonna dry down, even though it hasn't entirely. Like you can just feel it kind of like settling into the lips. So that's everything tried. Just gonna sort my appearance out now and get back to you. This is the completed makeup look. I feel like overall I enjoyed the vast majority of the products that I tried today. Go through my like absolute favourites first. The Nars concealer. This is one of the best ones I've tried today, I think. It's just such a nice texture, glides on the skin so nice, and it's got pretty good coverage. It's a great colour. Really liking this. I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this. Probably ain't gonna last very long because of it. I do really like the foundation as well. I was kind of expecting it to have a little bit more coverage if I'm going to have like one complaint about it, but it's super nice and it's super nice looking on the skin, really nice finish and a really good colour. So I do like this a lot. I feel like I'll probably use this a lot in the summer. I just feel like this is kind of like a sort of summertime foundation because it is quite like dewy. I'm quite impressed with the little L'Oreal eyeshadow palette. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is. I think like if I'm going for a grungy smoky eye, this is kind of the sort of thing I'd reach for. I'm actually really impressed with the pigmentation and the blendability of these shades. Like the Bourjois contour clubbing eyeliner, super dramatic black. You know, what more can I say? It is good at what it needs to do. And I did really like the mascara as well. I think it's got pretty good volume and all the things that I look for, and will probably get better the more I use it. For the eyebrow products worked really well as well. L'Oreal pencil and the Bourjois gel, I think that they're really good. See, the thing is, like, a lot of these products are just really good and I don't know what else to say, they're just good. I do really like the bronzer, but I think be a bit careful with your application. Like, it can go a bit patchy if you're not too careful, but it's a really nice warm lovely glow to the face. And I also really like the blush. I really like the pop of colour that's given my cheeks. Very nice. Both of the powders I think did the job, but as I've said, powders just generally aren't looking great on me, so I won't call them favourites for this video, but I don't really think they're bad or anything. The only product that I'm not a fan of that I've tried today is the Bourjois Le Petit Strober. I just feel like it's just too natural, not enough pigment for my liking. If you like a really natural highlight, you might like this, but I don't know, it's a bit too natural for me. I like something a bit more blinding. So this is one product that I just don't really like, but I feel like pretty much everything else I actually quite like. So I think this has been a good first impressions. I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully I will be doing some more consistent uploads because I've been a bit all over the place lately. But thanks for watching. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.